welcome back to the channel, guys. I am right now headed to the gym to get a bike ride in and a swim. Today is more so of like a cardio, high intensity, short bursts of speed mixed with a little bit of agility work. So if you're new to the channel, I tore my Achilles back in 2020. It was last year, and I've had 2 surgeries since then. And since the second surgery, which was July of this year, we have just now started to get back into, actually I'm going the wrong way. We have just now started to get back into plyometric style training. Nothing too serious, but just enough to kind of stimulate the muscles to get ready for that. So I've been doing like ladder drills and some balance work, but like I said before, like ladder drills, if you've ever done them, it's very, you can kind of vary the intensity with that. Like you can go from barely any movement with little intensity to extremely fast, extremely intense, that sort of thing. So we're still at that level of put my exposures right. We're still at that level of entry level plyometrics, if that makes sense. So what I hope to accomplish today is using the pool to simulate that, but also take some of the body weight away from the exercises so I can maintain longer. If you ever heard of like an Alter G machine, if you ever had an injury to the lower extremity, whatever the case may be, the Alter G basically puts you on a treadmill and takes your body weight to a lower percentage. It makes you feel lighter, so to speak. So I'm using the pool to kind of simulate that. Basically what I'll be doing in the pool is just ladder drills, high knees, heel raises, a little bit of running. If depending on how I feel after the bike ride, we'll see. But like I said, the bike ride is going to be high intensity, so I'm not expecting a lot in the pool, but just enough to get that stimulus, right? So yeah, today is going to be that in the gym, and then hopefully if the weather is nice later, I plan to go to the range. And the way this is looking, I may have to take a rain check, no pun intended, but hopefully we can get out there and I can take my my Glock 45 to go shoot a little bit, because I haven't shot that in a while, so I do want to shoot that. Put about 200 rounds. I think I loaded 215 or something like that. Yes, I have to load rounds previously, because if I don't and I just take like 300-400 rounds, I'll shoot all of it. And I'm trying to limit myself on how much ammo I'm burning through on the range, regular range days and stuff like that. So I think I loaded like 215. I'm gonna work from the belt this time. So I know the previous videos you see me work from concealed carry holsters, but today is going to be more so of outside the waistband, battle belt style training. That's how I typically run my Glock 45s. So that should be fun. That Glock build has seen some iterations as well. Like right now it has a PMM comp on the front. I think it's got a, what else? I think it's got a stock barrel, stock trigger, because I do like the Gen 5 triggers, which is kind of hard to believe coming from a M&P Apex person. The factory Glock triggers are fine. I think, fun fact, I think it's because a couple years ago I had a friend of mine that was at a competition, a USPSA competition, and he brought his Glock. I can't remember what it was. It might have been a 17 or a 34. I can't remember. But the trigger, it was a stock trigger, and he said he's got like, I don't know, a crazy amount of rounds. So that's like 20,000 rounds through it or something like that, and he's never changed the trigger. And I was just like, how, you know, he said, hey, you pull the trigger. And I was like, I mean, it's a Glock trigger. I know what it feels like. He said, no, pull the trigger. So I took the gun, pulled the trigger, and when I tell you, I was amazed, because I was expecting Glock-ish, mushy trigger, and it was not that. But anyway, that kind of made me a believer in Glock triggers, stock triggers, after you get so many rounds through them anyway. So sorry about rambling about that, but we're at the gym now. We're gonna get this bike ride in. Gonna warm up the Achilles, get some stuff in the pool, and yeah, once we finish that, we'll see how the weather is. And yeah, like I said, guys, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your support, and let's get it going. Heart rate is jacked. It's like it's topping out at like 167 ish. I haven't trained in this type of heart rate, I think, since the last surgery, so it felt really good. You're coming back from some type of injury that has had you down hard for some time. Just allow yourself, your body, your muscles, tendons, ligaments, joints, allow that stuff to ease back into the motion. I do believe in muscle memory, but I also believe in muscle guidance / relearning, if that makes sense. So you may feel good, you may feel better, you may have hit a huge milestone in your recovery. However, your body has to adjust, has to acclimate all over again. And I had to learn this a while ago, especially after 2 surgeries. You know, I felt like I did everything right after the first one. There were a lot of things that I could have done different, but hey, that's living and learning. So let's go see what the pool is like. Hopefully it's not jam-packed and we can get some footage in there, but either way, I'm going to get that workout in. I may just be limited to my phone for footage, but yeah, that was a good workout. I should get an Osmo action, because this DJI is giving me the heebie-jeebies. I'm just going to length of the pool because I don't feel like turning around. Doing the running in the water allows me to run because I haven't progressed to running on any type of, I guess, free body weight like pavement or gym or whatever, treadmill. I haven't progressed up to that yet, so I ran the idea of running in the pool by my therapist, and she said go for it. So I was like, hey, okay. So we'll do one more. After doing, those jumps, that was pretty intense. I felt my Achilles kind of barking at me a little bit. And then the other one is kind of spicy too. In the pool, it exaggerates what the side of your body you're leaning on. So I'm favoring my left because, of course, my right is not as strong as the other given. So The pool is exaggerating that times 10, but this is a good workout. I'm glad I was able to get the camera out. And because of this situation, I think I may invest in an action. I don't know, what do you guys think? Are they good? Are they fun to use? Or whatever action camera that's out there now that you can swim and bike and all that kind of craziness with. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of this pool and we're gonna go eat, get ready for the range. Yeah, like it's raining right now, but it's not like heavy or anything, so the range should be fine. I may get a little bit of water on the optic, but that's why you're running close optics. More on that later. I think this is a perfect day to go on range. But we got this pool, get some food, get some coffee, and see y'all in the future. We made it out to the range finally. Didn't make it yesterday because I thought that I was going to be able to do it after that workout, but once I ate and I sat down, I realized how shot my legs were after the pool. Weather is great. It's not raining, which I kind of wanted to be at least be drizzling just a little bit, because I know I mentioned having an open emitter versus a closed emitter in that last conversation. So just having an open emitter, which basically means there's no enclosure where the red dot emits from, if that makes sense. When water gets in there, you better pray and hope that you can see your dot on presentation, because it ain't a guarantee. And just having an enclosed emitter, which is basically, most of them look like mailboxes, it just makes life a little bit easier when it's the elements are against you. You know what I mean? So am I kind of bummed out about that because I wanted to replicate that training? Sure. But nonetheless, the weather's nice, the sun's out, and yeah, so we're gonna shoot about 215 rounds. I have in my possession one IPS target, IPSC target, which is basically your competition type of target. And then I got this other target from the guys over at Achilles Heel Tactical. I like these targets because they also replicate the IPS target, but then you also have a silhouette as well. So depending on what you want to train and how you want to look at the target, just kind of go from there, I guess. And then the back of it is a rifle target. So it just beats having to order a bunch of stuff, you know, depending on what you're trying to get accomplished in training. And you just got a different array of things to train on these targets. You can train your offset down here. You can, like up here, you can train your red dot. You got these targets which you normally see at your indoor ranges. What else? You can confirm zero down here. You got trigger cadence stuff up here. You got a note section down here in case you want to write on your target. I kind of have a data sheet going on. And then, you know, up here they have what they call a dope drill. Basically you're testing your rate of fire, your splits, and your hits out from starting at the 5 all the way out to the 25. Usually you do that cold, but yeah, so that's the target over at Achilles Heel Tactical. And if you know, interested in this target, you can go down here to AchillesHeelTactical.com. Speaking of AchillesHeelTactical.com, Ohio Range Day is this weekend, and shout out to the people, you know, that all got selected to go. I am having FOMO, and I'm not too happy about that. But anywho, we're gonna get started. I already got rounds loaded up. I preload mags so I don't have to do it when I come to the range. And yeah, we're gonna run my battle belt, which is a Ronin belt. It is the belt that has the D-ring right here. It's got a cobra buckle. I like to run this padded insert because sometimes I don't wear like cargos or anything to have an inner belt that goes through belt loops. So today I'm just going to run the padded belt. Usually I run this like in the winter time when I have a jacket on, so I can just take this off and then just pop it on real quick without having to run anything through belt loops. But yeah, this is the belt. I'm sure he still has them over at his site. I can almost guarantee it. But yeah, I'm running G codes on here right now. That will more than likely change in the near future because I want to have my mags at an angle. It just makes reloading a little bit more comfortable. And I'm okay with this mag, but I'm a person of uniformity, so, and it's gonna mess with my OCD. And then I run a 6000 series holster, Safariland holster. There's a reason why I still stick with the 6000 series. I just don't trust the 7000, because they have like a seam right here in the middle that seems to crack over time, depending on, I guess, what you're doing. If you fall on your holster, if you're a hard user, whatever the case may be. Like, I don't know if they fixed that yet, but just for my comfort, for my peace of mind, I like the 6000 series. I'm gonna shoot this Glock 45. Has an Acro P2 poker mount machine, barrel and combo, Extreme 100U, and I have a emissary development little gas pedal thing to switch the light on and off. Stock trigger, stock internal, everything else. So I think that's a CAGWorks makes this. This is a game changer for me. It's a slide release, and yeah, I like that. That is a slightly extended magazine release. This is a Floyd Customs EDC magwell. So I like this one. I will say though, if you have magazines like this one, because of it has a protruding set screw, it won't work with the Floyd Customs EDC magwell. Did I know that prior to buying it? Yes and no. I actually forgot. I knew it would work with the, don't let me get this wrong, the Arredondo. Yes, the Arredondo extensions, but I forgot about the set screws in the Terran Tactical. So I have a bunch of these mags loaded today, and I'm kind of torn in between if I'm just going to take off the mag wheel for training or just reload these mags once I go through these. I guess I can show you that this works in that mag wheel. So there you go. And this is why this one does not work. First of all, yes, it is empty and clear, but that little set screw will not allow this to insert. We're gonna get some rounds down range, so let's set up and I'll see y'all in just a sec. Let's check your image. That's not bad for first time shooting my Glock in a couple of months. It's been a while. Of course, I'm coming from M&P, so grip angle is one thing, trigger is another thing, dot is another thing. So there's just a bunch of factors that's going into this, but I won't deep dive into that. But that first shot was in a 17.63, and I already don't like that starting off. 0.69, I'll say why in a second. 0.83, because I thought I missed, and I did. 0.65, okay. So the reason I don't like the last shot string is because it is identical to the fourth string. I wouldn't say the third one either, because I kind of sped it up at the end because I knew I could go a little bit faster. But if these two are pretty much the same, of course I expect the first shot to be slower because there's a further distance and I'm trying to confirm target. But if my splits are relatively the same as that shot string, and then if we take away these two last shots on that third shot string, we're looking at 0.65. So really that average is really, really close, and I don't particularly care for that. What you should see is a gradual increase in total time. Not like fast, slow, fast, semi slow fast. Like, it should be a gradual increase. The total numbers should always increase gradually, not throttle up and down. That shows that you're staying with your cadence, and that you are, I guess, really concentrating on your speed and distance, and confirming your first shot on target without over confirming. So, but like I said, yeah, if you like that drill, you don't necessarily have to buy the target to run the drill. Just know that it's 25 rounds cold, marked 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Start at the 5, shoot 5 rounds fast as you can, and mark your times. If you don't have a timer, there's a lot of apps that give you that capability. Don't know how good they are because I don't use them, but you can run the drill. What else? But yeah, you track your accountability. I don't say targets. I usually just take a picture and throw the target away, and then when I run the drill again, I'll go back and look at it again. All your A zones count as hits, so there's no need to. If you want to mark inside the A zone, that's fine. Like, you should. The good idea about marking these with the shapes is that, let's say this was a square and this is a square. You have another square. Like, that is a huge grouping when you're supposed to be aiming small. So if you want to be accountable for what your grouping is doing, yes, absolutely mark inside the A zone. That's the dope drill. It's pretty fun to do, and it gives you a good insight on how you are doing cold right outside the holster. I'm going to shoot some more right on that target. We're going to transition to the IPS target, and we're going to get out of here. So it looks like my entire grouping is like bottom half of the A zone. And I think that's because I'm running this comp on this gun. I'm probably going to shift up 6, and we're just going to see that. I mean, I'll do another time. I'll like confirm 0 at 25. I'm not going to do that today, but I'm just going to shift up and just see where that puts me at between 10 and 15. Don't judge my target. So when you look at it, take the entire target and go up like 4 inches, and it'll be 0.8 point impact. Dishes for the dot. Like that. We just finished up the day, and I just wanted to tell y'all that training is better than gear. Contrary to popular belief, I think that you should spend quality time training, whatever that means to you. If you just don't have the means or the time or whatever your thing is you got going on that comes in the way of you getting to a live fire range, you can dry fire at home. I definitely do not dry fire as much as I should, but I think every person who trains in something can say that they don't do enough of XYZ. It costs nothing to get reps in, dry reps. All it costs you is your time. I believe that if you don't train, that you are as good as the time that you put in and the effort that you put into the craft. And that goes for anything. That goes for just life in general. Like if there's something you want to get better at, you'll put time into it. But I've been shooting progressively since about 2015. And it's been an uphill grind ever since. I'm humble enough to say I have work to do, but I have come a long way at the same time. And that's through training. Like, now, true enough, I do like nice guns. However, you have a duty to be effective with the gear. You don't want this to happen, but if something were to ever happen around you, you have a decision to make. Now, whether that is to protect yourself and or others, that comes down to you as an individual. But at the end of the day, all is to say is you have a duty to be proficient, somewhat proficient with your gear, and I think you should be proud of that. Especially my ladies. Like, ladies, if you're just now, getting into guns, or if you have boyfriend, husband, whatever the case may be, that's into guns, why not try it out? Give it a try. Give it a shot. See what you like. See what you dislike. You may love it. You may hate it. You don't know until you try. But I can say that my experience with ladies who have never shot before or have some type of bad experience with guns, that they get around a somewhat like-minded individual like myself and give them a different perspective, that they turned out to love the aspect of shooting and the feeling of becoming proficient and becoming relaxed behind the gun. So, but that's a whole nother different conversation. But I just came to tell y'all, look, if you got the gear, cool. If you don't, cool. But at least train. At least train, be proficient, have some knowledge, and be proud of that. But yeah, I will catch y'all in the next one. This was a great day of shooting. It felt good to get behind the Glock, and yeah, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, comment, because it helps the channel grow. Share it with a friend, share it with a family member, and yeah, y'all be safe. Protect yourselves, protect your family, have some knowledge, train, get better, be better. God bless.